Hi! I couldn't think of a better intro than that. So, my name is John, and I would like to welcome you all to my very first video. I'm really hoping that this is going to be the first in a long series of videos that I would like to call Homeless Movies. Now, the reason I want to call it Homeless Movies is because I like to collect bad movies from thrift stores. Thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales, anything I can get my hands on. If it looks terrible, I like to try it out and see what it is. For as long as I can remember, I've always loved terrible movies. Anytime somebody watches something that's like, oh my god, why would anyone watch this? I'm just like, yes, I love it, I love it, I love it. I have an autographed copy of The Room. I have multiple copies of Birdemic and Birdemic 2. I also love things that other people don't want anymore. Like, for example, I listen to records, and I know, I can hear it already. I can already hear you going, hipster, just type, hipster, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm not a hipster, I promise. At least I try not to be. I don't listen to records because, oh my god, the fidelity of the records is just so much more amazing. The vibrations just really make my craft IPA taste so much better. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't even drink beer. I like giving a home to things that other people would pretty much regard as garbage. I kind of feel bad for these movies because people worked on these. They were paid to do these movies, and some of them just did them to get a paycheck, and some of them put their heart and soul into them. And they're just sitting on a shelf that nobody ever gets to watch or appreciate. So I've sort of taken it upon myself to bring these movies home and share them with you. I love seeing the weird, oddball things that people can come up with. And a lot of that stems from my favorite TV show, Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you don't know what that was, it was a guy stuck in space with a couple of robots, and they just made fun of terrible movies all the time in order to keep themselves occupied. And as a kid, I spent a lot of time by myself, so I could understand the need to make your own entertainment. I actually have both Tom and Crow puppets, as well as I have the silhouette of the guys tattooed on my arm. And I really think that they shaped me in that they really taught me how to appreciate movies as an art form. And I know that that sounds really weird talking about bad movies, but it's true. My definition of art is any kind of media that evokes some type of an emotion, whether that movie be joy, laughter, sadness, disgust, or pure hatred. What matters is that it makes you feel something. It makes you think. It makes you want to go out and do something, whether good or bad, preferably not bad. But it makes you feel, and for a brief moment in time, you're not where you are. You're somewhere else. You can avoid the bullshit that life throws at us. So the first movie I'm actually going to be reviewing is from a VHS that I found at the local thrift store here in Tampa. It is part of a series of videos called The Animated Hero Classics. The film was directed by Richard Rich, a former Disney employee who left the company to direct his own films. These actually aired on HBO from 1995 through 1997, and they were actually designed as an educational film for elementary school students. This one in particular really caught my eye, no pun intended. Totally pun intended. This one is about Helen Keller. It's a 30-minute cartoon telling the entire life story of Helen Keller. And I don't want to sound insensitive, but it really does have to be seen to be believed. Because we all know how those Disney guys always got these right. So our movie actually begins in 1882 in Tuscumbia, Alabama, which is the most white trash sounding name I personally have ever heard. 2-year-old Helen Keller and her family are having a picnic when all of a sudden she falls very ill. I'm assuming that because she's a small southern white woman, it must be the vapors.
Poor thing. Arthur? She's burning up.
And she sucked all the color out of the painting.
Helen, wake up, sweetheart.
What are you smacking the baby for? MC Chris would be proud. You gotta love that 1800s medicine when slapping the sickness out of the baby was recommended. Her fever persists for 3 weeks, and the doctor claims that she is both blind and deaf, and that it's permanent.
Blind and deaf?
What are you saying?
I said she was blind and deaf. Does it run in the family?
3 weeks, Mr. Keller. Yes, but blind? Deaf?
Do I hear an echo? 5 years later. Jump ahead 5 years, and Helen has grown into what looks to be the child from the Road Warrior, and is becoming more and more frustrated with the inability to communicate with those around her.
Oh no, honey, we don't have any more.
The floor is on fire. Why is no one doing anything?
Helen, stop! No, Helen!
Man, the Girl Scouts have gotten aggressive. The parents are also growing increasingly more frustrated with her outbursts.
I hate it when she cries.
Oh.
You too.
Wow, Father of the Year.
How can she communicate if she can't hear or see?
I have no idea what happened to his accent there. I think it melted. The mother explains exactly what they need to do to fix the problem, but since she's a wealthy white lady from the South, she just finds somebody else to do it. I totally thought that said Porkins School for the Blind. Enter Anne Sullivan, an Irish woman from Boston, the woman who would eventually go on to teach Helen Keller how to communicate with the world.
How are you feeling today, Miss Bridgman?
I'm okay, but did they get rid of that one Irish girl? You know, they're thieves. She gets recruited by the head of the college to go down to Alabama and teach language to Helen Keller.
Sending me? Don't you think I should have a say in the matter?
Well, we were going to send your brother, but he was too busy in Atlantis.
Dr. Howe's the one who made her understand that the spellings meant something.
Yeah, they should send Dr. Howe.
I'm not Dr. Howe.
I'm not so sure.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
In any case, Dr. Howe is dead.
What? What happened to Dr. Howe? After she arrives in Alabama, the first meeting between Anne and Helen goes about as well as you could expect. Oh no. What? Bad touch. Bad touch. Bad touch. I need an adult.
That child isn't going to learn a thing until she learns some decent manners.
It was at this point in the movie that I realized something. This is basically one weird animated episode of The Dog Whisperer. The teacher, Anne Sullivan, is basically Caesar Milan for disabled kids. This is going to be awkward. Where have I seen this before? Oh my god, they're cannibals.
200 Confederate soldiers against 2,000 Yankees. I'd like to say we won that day, but we didn't. The point is this.
What the fuck? Look, just because she's blind doesn't mean she gets to ignore reality. During dinner, Anne and Helen's father have a disagreement about whether or not she should be able to eat like a normal child, or if they should continue feeding her table scraps like a puppy.
I won't have her crying.
She'll never learn to communicate until she learns to obey.
Logically get him out of there.
Okay.
I corrected that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let him tell me, I'm going to
Telling you when-
manipulate you.
yeah.
Come on, I'm growling. You should give me the food. No, I'm not her.
It just doesn't seem right, making her feel sad on purpose.
What's going on? You know, if I was this kid, I'd be freaked out too.
I'm here to help.
First, there's a stranger in my house, and she's touching me.
You see?
And now she's locked me in the
one's going
kitchen,
to get hurt.
and she's going to force feed me things. You know, for a blind girl, she's got impeccable aim. Oh my god, that had better be soup.
Mrs. Keller, I think you should see this for yourself.
This is gonna be some Dexter shit right here.
I never saw such a beautiful sight in all my life.
What a beautiful idea.
After dinner, Anne tries to bond with Helen, but she once again gets very upset.
You just settle down.
Am I the only one wondering why there's a mirror in the blind girl's bedroom? Oh, I'm going to hell for that joke. Her father comes running and gives her a treat to help her calm down.
There, Helen. Have a peppermint.
So the father becomes fed up with Helen not making enough progress. The teacher, Anne Sullivan, decides that they need to move into another house in order to avoid the father's bad influence.
Holy crap, this lady pulled an entire piece of cake out of her bag like Mary frickin' Poppins.
The father gives her 2 weeks to teach her an entire language. Hell or high water. Apparently, waterboarding has always been an effective teaching tool. After the 2 weeks are up, her father comes to collect his daughter.
It's a miracle. Now you take Boston, for instance. Lovely city, nice and modern, but the people move around like so many ants. In the South, we tend to take things a bit more easy and put a smile on our face.
Stop!
Don't you dare pick up that fucking napkin. Don't you dare.
What, in blazes?
Let her pick it up herself.
Whatever for?
Don't you pick up that napkin.
She dropped it on purpose. She's testing you.
Nonsense.
No!
Don't you pick up that napkin. Oh, he picked up the napkin. He picked up the napkin! So Anne and the father have an argument, and the father decides to fire her. On the way out of the house, Anne tries one final time to reach out to Helen.
W-A-T-E-R. W-A-T-E-R. Come on, Helen. I know you're in there.
When a miracle happens, and you can basically see her brain switch on right there. So, in 2 weeks, Helen actually was able to learn how to speak and communicate with other people, and they all lived happily ever after. So the movie ends with a nice little montage about what happened to Anne and Helen later on in life. Helen actually went off to college and became the first blind and deaf person to get a bachelor's degree, with Anne's help as an interpreter. She even learned how to write her own autobiography. Helen went on to become a very profound advocate for the differently abled up until she died in 1968. So while the movie's not entirely awful, it's not very good either. The animation, while pretty, tends to skip around a little bit. The voice acting is subpar at best, since it's mostly filled with stereotypes and none of the men can seem to keep an accent for longer than a few minutes. Oh crap. But overall, I can't really say that I hated it. I loved watching every second of this train wreck of a cartoon, and I actually went out and bought the other 10 that were at the thrift store, so I really can't wait to watch those either. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this brief glimpse into the weird world that I live in of just bad movies. Stick around next time and maybe we'll review another American Hero classic, or quite possibly something even weirder than that. Thanks guys.